Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
Look what I have in my hand. What is it?
Y.
It's the letter Y, and you can tell it's at the end because it has that little dash. Kind of like a minus symbol, but that's telling us that there are letters before it. Y is not at the start of the word, sounding like a consonant. It's going to be found at the end of our words, sounding like a
E or I.
ooh, which is a vowel sound. Long or short?
Long.
A long vowel sound, and you're right, you're already ahead of the game. It's going to sound like long E or long I. That's right. So when I do our little toss and catch and segment, you're going to hear words that have the long I or the long E at the end, okay? Because we're learning. That's the sound, yes. It's going to help us read our words faster when we hit those words in our books. Okay, so you're going to get your hands ready, put them in the air, I'm going to toss it to you. Ready, set, here comes the word, and you have to listen to my sentence too. That's a word, but let me call them, mister. My. Catch my. My. You didn't let me say my sentence. My friends already know the sound. Just the Y. So on your boards, my, tap and sweep. And the red chip represents our what?
Vowel.
Our vowel. Leave my on the board, because the next word I toss to you might have the same spelling pattern, consonant, vowel, right? Ready? Listen to my sentence before you start segmenting. So just hold on to it. Next word is why. Why are you so tired? Why? So let's look. We have consonant and then vowel. Does this setup work for the word why?
Yes.
Tap and sweep. What's the sound now? I need you to tap and sweep. Okay, touch your first consonant chip. What's the sound for that? W. It's a it is not just the W. It's the W. So an H brother. I'm pointing to an H brother poster. That is just one chip because those two letters make how many sounds? One sound. W. Okay, so W, I, Y. Ready? Put your chips down. Get your hands ready. Here it's coming. Let's try this one. Ready? Fly. The gulls fly over the marshland. I fly. What does this mean?
A blend.
Ooh, so what are we going to do on our first box?
Two.
Because there's two consonants. We could separate those sounds if we wanted. It's on your thumb though, Milani. What do these two chips represent? What sounds? Tell me the sounds that you hear. Fool. So fool. And then what's your vowel at the end? I. Fly. So hands off your chips. Keep them there. We might just be able to keep them like that. Ready for the next word? Catch it. Sky. The sky is finally clear and blue. Sky, segmented. Sky. We wiggled again. There is. So do we need to change our board?
Nope.
Because we already have two consonants there, huh? But what is it now, tap and sweep? What's this sound like now? Sky. Good job. All right, here's another one. Leave your chips where they are. If we need to change them, we will. The next word is... Get your hand ready. It's coming. Coming at you fast. Ready? Tiny. Listen to my sentence. The tiny bug was crawling on the riverbank. I-E, tiny. So what has to happen to our board? Can we keep it like this? No. Let's just start over again then, and then build and say the sounds. One sound at a time. Oopsie. What's the third sound? And that's a consonant. And then what's the last sound?
E, which is actually a Y.
Which is actually a vowel sound made with the Y. And so You don't have room on your board, huh? You cannot keep the consonant and the vowel together in the same box. That has 2 vowel sounds. Hands off the chips for a moment. Everyone has their 2 vowels, their 2 red chips, good for you, but we're gonna rearrange them differently because one of the things that this lesson is for is to teach you how to separate words by the syllables. If there are 2 vowels in the word, it's telling us there are 2 syllables. 2 syllables. We're gonna make 1 syllable on our board and the second syllable is gonna be off the board. So what do we know about long vowels? Do we leave them open or do we close the door on them?
Open.
Open, so we better get rid of this because it's acting like a door, closing the door on it. If you hear a word with a long vowel, you know that's where the break goes. If you see a word and you don't know if you should read the word with the long or short sound, think, what comes after it? 1 consonant or 2? Just 1, huh? So if there's just 1 consonant, you're going to separate it into a second syllable. So look at my board, match yours up with mine. I, and then second syllable, E. We're separating the syllables. So do it one more time for me, tap. I, E. Tiny. I want you to tap and sweep it. We're going to do this. Okay. I, E. Tiny. Next word, get ready. See what we have to do this. Story. We will read a story after this. Story. Or E. Story. How many fingers do you have up?
3.
Okay. But we did something special on our thumb.
Oh, I blend.
So what has to happen on the box number 1? Got 2 sounds. But we lump them together because it's faster that way. And then what's the second sound? Or. It is a vowel. It's an R control vowel. We just use our 1 red chip. And what was the last sound?
E. Story.
E. Is E a consonant or a vowel? Or E. So I have another red chip. How do I know where to put it? Store E. Is it all just 1 syllable? Or is this the second syllable?
Second.
It is a second. Don't be afraid to try. It's okay if you get it wrong. It's the second syllable because remember, if there's 2 red chips, it's telling us there's how many vowels?
2.
So the second vowel has to be built off your board. What does your second vowel consist of? What sound?
E.
Only the
The
E.
Y.
It's spelled with Y. You're right. You know what is kind of funny, but it's kind of fun to play around with? What if I, see if you can hold these sounds in your head. What if I took this sound, which is E, and I put it on this side of my board? What would it sound like? This is my E chip. It would be E, whoops, E. What was
Story.
Yeah.
Story.
So now the order has changed. This says E store. Doesn't belong there. But it's proving that there are 2 syllables when you play around like that. All right, I'm going to give you another word. And this next word is, oh good, Bennett's got his fist ready. You guys should all have your fist ready. Hungry. I'm so hungry. Let's segment it. Hungry. How many fingers do we have?
5.
Okay, so what's going on here? Is this going to match what we have on our board?
No.
No. Let's start over. Take your chips off and segment it with your chips. What's the first sound? What's the second sound? Which is a vowel. Change that yellow for a red. What's the third sound? No, it's not hug. It's hungry. It's a consonant. Grr. It is a blend. So I'm going to grab 2. But wait a minute. Look, we did run out of room, but we also have consonant, consonant, and we know that when we have 2 consonants, what do? We break them, we divide them. Good. So this is going to go out here, Saber. Look. Grr, there's my blend, and my last sound, E. Hungry. My last sound is E.
Wait, there's 3 out.
Yeah, this is my blend, and this is my vowel. So tap and sweep. Grr, E. Hungry. Okay? That is, it has more sounds than all of the words that we taught you today. Okay, so now, my friends, put your chips on your board and scooch those out of the way. Put your chips right here, please. And then under your boards, you have your whiteboards ready. So before you start connecting those sounds to letters, let me have you look this way so that you get a little bit of extra help. You're not going to write yet, because when you write, you're not going to get to see the letters. You're looking at the letters right now. Okay, so let's just do a quick review of some of those shorter words. What do we have? B, I, buy. M, I, my. Cur, I, cry. I, sky. I, try. With I, why. And let's try some others. We're going to still need our Y because that's the goal of today's lesson. We're going to try some blends. So, or, story. How about
Hungry.
so again? What's missing?
The end.
Oh my goodness, because without it, it says hungry, but it's hungry. And so this is why, this is where you should pay close attention, because when you write these on your boards, these are the things that I want you to remember. Consonant, consonant blend. Can you keep these two consonants together in the same syllable?
No.
So when you write them, you will write hun in one box and green in the second box. It's a 2-syllable word. Okay? All right, should we do another one? How about this? Let me change the for, what's your word now? Hungry. That's not a real word. Maybe I should change some other sounds, like swap this out. Funny. How many N's do you see in funny?
2. So you divide it between the N and the N.
Look at you. You are on fire today. You hear it just like one time when you say funny, right? Funny. But when you spell it, there are those 2 N's and you have to divide them. Okay? Because this is a short vowel, and so you close the door on it. Okay? So funny. Let me have you let's try and connect some of those. We're not going to do all of the words because we're not going to take a ton of time. So now, without looking at these letters, you're going to just listen. You're going to watch my fingers. You're going to pop up your fingers too, and you're going to try and connect the sounds you hear, the number of fingers, the number of sounds, to letters. Okay, so for example, watch me. I'm going to do one for you. I'm going to make a list. If I segment this, if I go, or if I actually, sorry, let me try that one over. If I do this, I, then when I write it, I'm going to think, oh, I heard cur, which is a blend. And then I heard I, which I was just told that Y is going to sound like it. So here's a huge hint. All of these letters end in the letter Y. Okay, so that's going to be a huge hint for you when you practice. We're learning about Y as a vowel, and it's always at the end. So go ahead, Saber, and write cry. Okay, at the top. Okay. Your eyes should be on your board when you're writing, and I should hear the sounds.
Cry.
And I want you to leave those words so that we can make a list going down. Okay, ready? Listen to my segmented word. Full, I.
Fly.
So repeat those sounds and write it.
I. Fly.
Full. And I remember this ends with Y. Sounding like long I. Fly. Good job.
I saw Melania on Halloween. What?
How about this one? Shh. I. Shy. So, shh. I'm stuck, so I'm going to look at my H Brothers poster. Oh yeah, the picture of the boy going shh is reminding me that
did it.
it's SH.
There's no I.
And yeah, why don't I need that letter I in there?
Because
Who's boss?
the teacher and the principal.
This is boss. He's like, I don't need you, letter I. I'm going to do your job. I'm going to be the vowel.
Like, no, you
So
could
yeah,
not take my
we don't
job.
need the Y in the word. Get rid of that Y. Okay, ready? How about this one? I-E. Tiny. So repeat those sounds. I want to hear you. Uh-oh, did I trick you? We do have to divide it, but that's not the trick I'm talking about. I saw this on someone's board. Oh no. Okay, and this can be tricky because I told you that the Y will sound like a vowel at the end of a word. Is it at the end of the word?
Yeah.
No, is this first letter Y right here at the end of the word, Tiny? No, this is the end. This is the beginning, and when I reach that letter, that's the end. However, this is a tricky word because as you get into more complicated words, like this word, don't worry about writing this. I just want to show you something.
I want to write that word.
Can you read that word?
Cycle.
Cycle, like a bicycle, recycle, the water cycle. Don't write it because that's not part of our pattern that I want you to really focus on, but I want you to see that it's a two-syllable word.
And the E and L say I.
This Y is at the end of a syllable. So that's why it sounds like the long vowel. But you're not going to get words that are that complicated. You're going to hear you're going to see the Y at the end. There's all kinds of things going on with that word. Focus on the Y sounding like a vowel at the end of the word, okay? So tiny. You hear long E, but it's not spelled with E. What is it spelled with? The Y. And that's why we're practicing this, because you're going to hit words in your book that end with the Y, and I want you to think, ooh, it's going to sound like E or I. When you spell them, you're going to use the letter Y. Okay, how about this one? Ready? Or E. Okay, so let me hear you segment it again. So you got your consonant blend, your R controlled vowel, and Y sounding like E. Okay, let me have you look at your list really quickly. What do you notice about these first three words compared to these two words at the bottom? It's a turkey? Does that mean that's tough?
No, wait, I didn't say turkey, I said turkey.
Tricky? Okay, I'm going to help you out
I thought
then.
you said
Listen.
turkey.
Cry, fly, shy. What kind of vowel sound?
Oh.
What kind of vowel sound did you hear? Long I. Do you hear long I in these?
Nope.
Tiny,
No.
story.
That sounds like the E.
How many syllables do these have?
Three. Wait, not three.
One. How many syllables do these have?
Two.
So could it be that when you hit these words that are one syllables, the Y is always going to sound like long I?
No.
Cry, fly, shy? It does for all of those.
Maybe.
My,
Yeah.
by. But when you have words that are two syllables, like tiny, story, funny, happy. Those have 2 syllables, and the Y sounds like E. Focus, listen. Okay, you gotta be careful.
I could like 5 more.
All right, cap your markers and just go ahead and leave your boards right there with your words on them.
I dropped mine over here.
And let me have you
Now,
take your book, and
here.
there's a little competition that I have for you. When you go to the story called The Sly Fox, you're not going to read it right away. You're going to just first scan each sentence so that you can look for words that have the Y at the end. So literally, you're going to go, you don't have your markers, huh? And you're going to scan each line, and see, I did one for you already. Look, eyes up here before you start. So when I first picked up the text, I'm just looking. I see one there. Oh, there's one. Highlight the letter Y. Keep on scanning. If you see another one, oh, there's another one. Highlight the letter Y. Why are we doing that? How is this going to help us?
Because we need to figure out the Y is I or E.
Because when we go back and reread it, we're going to remember it makes one of those sounds, right? So on your marks, get set, scan and highlight. Scan and highlight.
Okay.
And I'm going to get you something.
Oh wow, I'm actually already done. I think I'm done. Yep. I am officially done. There was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Scanning, highlighting. Scanning, highlighting. Make sure you don't miss any. Okay, so now I want you to quickly go back and look at those words that you highlighted. Do any of those words you highlighted have another vowel? Because if they do, you're going to want to highlight that vowel as well. So go back to the start of the story with me. When I hit the word yummy, look for the word yummy in your book. Did you highlight the Y?
Yes.
Do you see another vowel in that word?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, the Y. The U.
Don't touch that Y at the beginning because it is being a consonant there. So you're not going to highlight it. We're looking at vowels. And the other vowel in yummy is like what they just said. It's what letter is that?
U.
So that can also be highlighted. And the reason we're doing that is because if we see 2 vowels, we know that word has how many syllables?
1, 2.
2 vowels, 2 syllables. So if you see 2 highlighted words or letters, you know that is a 2-syllable word. And that you'll know that, ooh, on my spelling test, when I do this in a few days, part of that word is going to be in one box. The second part of the word would be in the second box. Where would we divide that word like yummy? Between what 2 letters? Correct. That's right. Good job. You're remembering those rules. All right. Okay, so you did a nice job highlighting. I don't know who finished first. Ooh, you know what? I still see a word that has a second vowel. A word that has a second vowel. Highlight those second vowels right there. Okay. Okay, so now, cap markers. Get your feathers. Ooh. Why are we using feathers? I thought this would be cool. This would be cool because we're reading a story that has a gull in it. What's a gull?
Like a bird. A bird.
It is.
A bird on the beach.
And here it is.
I do sometimes.
This right here. You see him at the beach. You're right. So there's a gull.
Take people to food.
You normally say seagull, huh? And then this is where you're going to see the gull in a setting like this. We don't have pictures in your book, but this is a marshland. What do you see in the marshland? What do you see in the marshland?
Like grass.
Grass, and in the background, water. Water's kind of swampy.
Trees, a couple trees.
This right here is similar to that, but this is to show you the river bank. Yes, the setting is at a river bank. See this part where the land meets the water?
Oh yeah.
We call it a river bank. So hopefully when you see those words in your text, you will remember that. All right, not fingers, but feathers.
I'm just gonna use my
When you track, it's going to be like this. See how I'm holding my feather under here? So this feather is not to fan. What's it for? Tracking. I want you to track along with me. I want to hear you read with me. If you're stuck on a word, listen and try to copy me. So put your feather at the start. Let's start with the title. What is the title? The Sly Fox. Ready? A fox sat on a riverbank, wishing he had yummy fish for dinner. But he was lazy and did not try to fish. He simply sat on the riverbank. Just then, a log with 2 gulls on it drifted by. "Why are you on that log?" asked the fox. "We are fishing," said the hungry gulls. Fox got a fantastic idea. "Perhaps the gulls will
share with me.
Will you take me with you?" asked the fox. "Yes, gladly." Oops, careful. As the fox sprang off, on the next page, sprang off what? Turn the page. The bank, like the river bank. The log suddenly twisted to and fro. Stop right there. To and fro. What does that mean? To and fro. If I'm a log and I twisted to and fro, not that you're twisting 2 people. What am I doing? I'm a log twisting to and fro. I'm kind of like wiggling back and forth, because when you're on the water, or even if you're on the land, if you're something rounded, you might not be stable, huh? You might roll and move back and forth, huh? What's the next sentence? The gulls. Where should your feather be? Find your spot. The gulls, what? Began to fly into, not the river. That's what your feather's for. The fox fell into the river. We swam and swam. This was not a fantastic. The fox sat on a big white heart. Oh, stop. It was what? Partly sunny. So it did not take very long to dry. Stop right there, folks. Stop right there. This is a longer story and we're not going to finish the entire thing today. So raise your hand if you can tell me some of those Y as a vowel words. What were some of them, Melania? Point to them as you read them to me, please.
Yummy.
Yummy. What else do you know? Ooh, you want sunny.
Dry. Yummy.
Dry.
Yummy. You're lazy.
Close your books and let me ask you a couple things before you have to be on your way. Close your books. Put your feathers down. Back to your seats. Give me your attention. I'm not finished with you yet. You're not leaving me yet. One of the things that I want you to do is search, whether it be in your math story, when we read our story for the week, my Bean story, any readings that you come across. your independent practice is to do this. Write 3 sentences that each have a word with Y as a vowel sound. So what's it going to sound like? Either or I. Okay, and it's going to be where? At the beginning, middle, or end of the word? At the end of the word, just like those on your list, right? So if you see a word in your textbooks or on any of your worksheets, you can copy that sentence, or you can make your own sentence using that word, and highlight that word. And if you can make the break, if it's a 2-syllable word like hungry, make the break. How many do you need to search for?
3.
3 of them. Maybe you find them all today, maybe you only find a couple of them today. Okay, so you're going to be getting one of those. And then before you leave, here's one thing I want you to share with me. From today's little lessons that we did, what was helpful to you? What was helpful to you, Leonardo? Think about all the drills, the things that we did with our fingers, with our chips.
Blending and whiteboard practice.
Okay, you
And
found
our
that helpful?
chips.
All of it was helpful to you?
Yeah, and the book and studying about that the Y can make an E sound and the
Okay,
I.
so just hearing that, the explanation of why sounding like a vowel is helpful. Okay, so hopefully you'll remember that when you read. Which one of these things did you enjoy doing the most?
The whiteboard.
You liked the whiteboards the best?
I like
The whiteboards the best?
everything.
Good. You're gonna come back and do it again tomorrow. What did you like the best? You liked building the chips. What did you enjoy the most?
The whiteboard.
Whiteboard. You liked writing on the whiteboard. All right. Did you find anything confusing?
What?
Was there something confusing? Was there something that was like, that was the most difficult part? I hope we never do that again.
No. Nothing. Everything was kind of easy.
All right. Well, that's what I want to hear because that's what's going to help you be fluent readers.
Everything.
Thank you. Good job.